Okay then, boys and girls, welcome back to the channel. Honey for my honey, sugar for my sweet. Right, this initial video started off as a split. So that's my first swarm in that transport nuke, which has got a vent at the top and the bottom. So I originally was going to do a split with this. I'd only left it a couple of weeks, and me being a bit of a newbie as well, they just hadn't built it up enough to the point where I could have split it. That's why I've got that Albello nuke to the side of me. I was going to do a split from the swarm. But as I started going through it, I noticed that the queen hadn't laid any eggs yet. So I ended up not doing a split, and I ended up marking the queen. So that was the first swarm out of my hive that I had a year ago. Very productive hive, and I ended up getting like 9.5 litres out the hive, which is coming through the shed wall. The hive's in the shed, 9.5 litres by the 12th of May. So basically this video is about marking the queen, because I end up marking the queen in green 2024 colour. I don't know how old she is. I've had her a year, so she could be, I don't know, she could be 2, 3, 4 years old for all I know, but she is a very productive queen. And I do seem to manage to spot the queens quite easily. I don't know if everyone can do that, but I do manage to spot them very easily, which is a bonus for me. So I notice I've got all my gear on, gloves and everything, and this is it's a 6-framed transport nuke, and it's got a feeder in there as well. So I start off by taking the first frame out very gently. Obviously the frame at the side, because there's less chance of the queen being on there. There was a couple of frames where I took most of the wax foundation sheet off in this side. There was two or three where they started building their own cone. So here I am, checking the frames, basically looking for eggs. I wasn't initially looking for the queen, so I'm looking for eggs to see if I can do the split, which I didn't do in the end. And here I am checking. I think I'm actually checking to see if I can see the queen as well, but my initial search was for eggs, because I'm thinking, right, if I can see the one with the queen on and she's laying eggs. But I obviously just didn't leave it long enough. I think it was only, like I say, it was only a couple of weeks, and I think you need to leave it at least 3 to 4 weeks before you start seeing any cat brood. I have actually gone into this hive at a later point, and this queen was laying eggs, and there was larvae in there, cat brood a lot. But if you follow the videos as they come up, you'll know what I've been doing. So again, a bit of smoke there just to kill the smoke. Has apparently hides the attack pheromone from the bees, because obviously they're not too happy about you going through them, are they? So I'm just looking for eggs, larvae, cat brood, queen at the same sort of time. As you can see, that's one of the frames which has only partially got wax foundation on it, and have started to build some of their own cone on there, which looks quite good, to be fair. I'll tell you what, they're amazing creatures, absolutely amazing. So fascinating if you're thinking of coming into beekeeping. There is a lot to learn. I've watched about 1,000 videos myself, made a couple of minor mistakes as I've gone through the last 12 months. But it is fascinating, and yeah, don't get me wrong, it's very nerve-wracking at the beginning. As you can see, I'm surrounded by bees. Just doing you gotta be gentle with these frames, and take the end one out and then slowly pull them apart, not just lift them up. That's one of the things I learned, obviously. Nearly dropped the bloody frame there. Try not to crush the bees, and nearly dropped the frame. So here I have actually spotted the queen, and I'm using one of those, you know, it's like a tube and then a stick with a bit of a sponge on it. So I actually got the queen inside this, and slowly pushed it up and marked her. I'm not overly impressed with these types of marking devices. Personally, I wouldn't get one of those. I don't know, they just don't seem that good to me. Here you see me testing the pen out on my glove, marking the queen. Now, this is what I'm going to get at here, right? Marking the queen. Don't mark the queen until she's started laying broods and eggs and larvae, because I've heard so many reports and seen so many videos where just marking the queen, I don't know what it does, it probably puts them into a little bit of a shock, right? Having the pen pushed down on them, or they get a little bit panicky because they can't move. So there is a risk of that queen sort of like either completely dying, or she goes into shock and you think she's dead. So don't mark the queen until you see cat brood in there, because if you kill the queen accidentally, right, at least the colony can make emergency queen cells. If you do it like I did here, where I've marked the queen, right, she must have gone into a state of shock, nearly died, and luckily I put her back on the frame. Here, she's not moving in this video. She's not moving. Look. So I put her back on the frame, and look at the other bees revived her, and I checked a week later and she was perfectly fine. But it could have gone the other way, and I'd have had to spend 40 to 50 quid buying a new queen and introducing her, which is another ball ache. So my advice as a beekeeper is do not mark that queen until you see the facility, i.e. cat brood, eggs, larvae, for the other bees to make a queen cell, just in case you kill her accidentally. I mean, obviously you're not trying to do that, so don't do it. If you don't see larvae in there and eggs, don't mark her, leave it, just in case, guys. So here I'm actually, I cut a bit of the video out, but I'm scrutinising her for like 20 minutes here, and I just started to see her move before I put the frame back in the nuke. She's down there and she's hardly moving. Oh, I tell you what, I was nearly heartbroken. It was not good. So don't do it. Just for God's sake, don't do it. Make sure you see eggs, and eggs are not the easiest things to spot. But at least if you got very young larvae in there, they can met one after three days of it hatching or something, a new queen, which they feed on royal jelly constantly, which is made somewhere through the head, I do believe. So she started moving at this point, and I was absolutely gutted, guys, gutted. But I checked her a week later, and she was running around the hive. Thank God. That's all I've got to say about that, thank God. And I don't know what I did. She just obviously got into a panic, do you know what I mean? And had a bit of a fit or something and nearly died. So here I am. I do believe that's the frame she was on, yeah, pulling her back in the eye very gently. And yeah, for the next week, I was a little bit worried, to say the least, but she turned out all right. And that was me original queen out of me first beehive. So all I could do was put her in. She was moving very, very slightly at that point. Not a lot, but just enough. I thought, right, that's it. Enough's enough. Let me put her back in there and let the other bees. Because the other bees were swarming all around her. Like, I don't know what they were doing. Giving her a kiss of life or something. So, yeah, just remember that, guys, what I've said about marking the queen. Very easily done. I think the best, the next one I'm going to try for marking the queen when I see eggs and larvae is you can get a little round one where when she's on the frame, you just, it's a little round circle with bit of mesh on it and a few spikes. They're about £3 to £5 delivered. When you see her on the frame, just push it over her dead gently, mark her. And probably don't try to over mark her, like, oh, I want a really big blob of the green or whatever colour that's in the pen. Just just mark her quick, and then let her go. When you actually mark them with that thing I've just described, you can just pull it up slightly so she can start walking around, which will allow the ink to dry on I do believe it's called the thorax on the back of her head. So don't release her straight away, just lift it up a bit so she can start moving around, which will probably stop her getting stressed out. So here I am, because there's a feeder in this one, so I'm just putting some sugar water. It's just a bag of sugar to a 4-pint milk plastic container. That's all it is. And there's a very thin piece of wood in there so the bees don't drown. And that did help them progress in that hive quite a lot. Not too chuffed on that nuke with a vent at the top and the bottom. You couldn't use that all the way through winter. They'd freeze to death. I'm not a big fan of the vents in the hive, like at the bottom and at the top and stuff. I'm not a big fan of that because the information I've gathered is that they can monitor and adjust the humidity and the temperature and everything themselves through the entrance at the front. They don't need these vents, and it's allowing the heat to escape. So what I'm doing here, because I'm not splitting it because there's no eggs in there at this point, is I'm just putting these frames in this Albello nuke, which these are quite good. Too many vents in them, but you can block them off. And I think the lid's a little bit deep. I know it allows you to put the fondant in, but they're also going to start building cone up there above the frames, which I'm not over impressed about. So yeah, I'm just putting me frames in it while I'm sitting there. I didn't need to do it at this point, but I did. Excuse me. Yeah, it's just a bit of insulation with silver foil on it that I picked up from work. I think I actually put that on the top of that nuke there. Good transport nukes, but not as a temporary hive, I don't think, without blocking all them vents at the top and bottom. And once you've got bees in them, you're going to struggle to block the vent off underneath, ain't you? Unless you can get something to fit between the ground and the vent, which has got to be the right size. Okay, yeah, so just checking that transport nuke all seems all right there, and I'm going over there for something. Can't remember what we're doing now, to be fair. Oh yeah, just grabbing some more frames for that Abello Nuke. They're all your standard Brood frames which contain wax foundation, pre-assembled, a bit expensive when you buy them like that. Excuse me, they're about 37 to 40 quid for 10. Like I say, that's a 6 frame Albello Nuke, and I do eventually transfer that hive there, that nuke there, transport nuke, I do eventually swap them over into that Albello Nuke. So yeah, I think we're near enough at the end of the video now. Yep. And as you'll see on the roof of that Albello, you got them little lugs sticking out the front and back on the lid. You can have vents for that, but I don't think that's too much of a clever idea, like I've said. And basically just locking that up and putting it to one side for another couple of weeks. That's what I ended up doing. I don't think I put that thing on there, did I? That insulation. So I got a bit of a plastic thing there, put that on top, and just stuck that nuke on top out of the way. If you carry on watching the videos, you'll see I ended up having about 5 swarms. So yeah, I hope you enjoyed content of the video. Don't forget to like and subscribe.